Welcome to Southern Wreaths. Make sure you watch my video till the end to get a sneak peek at my next video, and please subscribe. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool witch hat wreath using the Dollar Tree witch hat frame. These are the supplies I'm going to use to make this wreath. I used 12 rolls of black mesh and 1 roll of purple and a ton of pipe cleaners. Alright, just ignore the mesh I have at the bottom. I tried to start from the bottom and make my way up, and it wasn't working, so I switched and started at the top, and this worked so much better because the mesh kept wanting to move up when I was doing it from the bottom up. So I'm just starting by gathering my mesh and attaching it to the very top with a zip tie, and I'm using black zip ties and pipe cleaners so you won't be able to see them, and I just trim it away. So the way you want to do the top part of your hat is to grab your mesh and tuck in both ends that's in your hand, and kind of have your hand in like a circle or a C shape as you're pulling it, and it creates like a rope, and as you're wrapping it around you want to overlap it. And I'll show you right here what I mean. You see how I've got both of the ends curled around, so it's kind of like a circle. It creates like a tube, and when you hold that in your hand, it just keeps feeding through like that. It's pretty cool. And I'm just going to continue with my first roll, and I ended right below the crossbar right there, so I just pushed it up a little bit so I could attach the end of the mesh with a zip tie to the crossbar. And if I had thought ahead, I would have actually began my next roll with the same zip tie, but I didn't think about it at the time. But you could just use one to end and begin the roll. And then I just cut away my zip tie, and then I kind of pull the mesh that I have there over it, but you won't be able to see it because once I start wrapping the next layer, it covers it up because I'm overlapping everything. And right there is how I begin my my spinning, I guess that's what it would be called, my wrapping. There we go. And see there, I'm attaching it to the crossbar and through the mesh above it when I could have just had it all in one zip tie. So that might save you some trouble if you did it the right way. All right, and I'm just going to continue wrapping. And like I said, ignore what I've got at the bottom. If you want to do it where it's not going to be a huge headache, you'll want to start at the top and make your way all the way down. Because as I was wrapping, it kept pushing up. It was really aggravating. I'm not going to make my way all the way to the very bottom, just because I won't see that part. I'm going to add little bundles of mesh at the bottom, so I'm not too worried about the gaps or anything. And then to end it all, I'm just going to use the zip tie to attach it to the bottom of the hat. I like to attach it to the actual bar so that it's not going to move up and down. So like this, it's attached from the very top to the very bottom. So hopefully it'll stay where it's supposed to stay. Alright, now I'm just going to clean up the mesh a little bit. Dollar Tree mesh is really stringy and messy. Now to make the bundles for the bottom of my hat, I'm going to cut the mesh, it'll be 6 by 6 because it's 6-inch mesh. And I'm going to do 4 pieces per little bundle. I don't know how many bundles I did. I have so many packed in there that it's hard for me to count because of the black on black with the pipe cleaners and the mesh. But I do use 13 entire rolls of black to make this whole wreath, and I believe I only have 3 rolls at the top. So that would be 10 rolls just for the bundles. Now to make my bundles, I'm doing it like I do with the flower petal wreath, where you'll add the two, or pull the 2 opposite corners and then gather the middle. And I will show you again in just a second. And then I cut my pipe cleaners into 3 like thirds, because I didn't want a whole lot of pipe cleaner on the back. It makes a big mess. Right, then I pull it up, and I'm going to twist it as tightly as I can, and this just makes it stand up instead of laying down. And here I'll show you again. You pull the two edges and pinch. Pull it apart. Oh, sorry. Pull it apart, and then you gather the center. And I'm just using my hand to hold it. You could probably use a clip or a Bodabra. Alright, and now I'm going to slow down and show you how I do the last one. So I'll grab the corner, I grab the opposite corner and pull, and then I just kind of walk my hand in and pinch the center. And I do this a lot. I just kind of did mine as I went, but since you know how many I used, you can probably go ahead and do them all at the same time. I had to keep doing it, and then I would, run out. So I was going back and forth. The only one I do different is these two corners, and I'm going to show you what I mean. I put it over the corner of the hat, and then I'm taking the right side and wrapping it around the right side, and the left side around the left. This keeps it from turning around to the back, and it also keeps it from sliding out of the corner. But all the rest of them, I'm wrapping it around 3 times, and then I'm taking what's hanging back and going ahead and wrapping it around the wire frame. I'm going to go ahead and do this now so I don't have to go back through and do it when I'm done. And I'm glad I did, because it gets so tight, because I really cram the mesh in there. And this just makes your job a little bit easier, because when you're going back through and trying to do that, you'll get poked a lot with the pipe cleaners and it hurts. See, I just twist 3 times, and then I'm just pushing the pipe cleaner up and wrapping it around the bar. And then I was just showing you here, you can kind of turn it and make it messy. Since it's a witch hat, it can be kind of, crazy looking. Now I'm just showing you how I went through, because I don't want you to have to watch me add every single bundle. But I do all of them exactly the same. And I did take turns going from top to bottom, and then I started on the left so I could meet in the middle, because I didn't want to cut too much mesh. And there's the whole thing filled up. Now after I completely finish the wreath, I do grab it on the sides and curl it up, because for some reason the frame makes it straight, and I wanted it to be kind of curved. So in the picture you can tell that it's up, but right now it's kind of straight across. I wanted to add a band of purple, so I'm just going to use mesh for that. I found the crossbar under the mesh, and I'm just going to feed a zip tie through it. And I actually took the zip tie and fed it a little bit through the deco mesh, so it's not going to like slide out. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I kind of like threaded the zip tie through the tip of the mesh. And see, this is the back of the wreath, so you can tell it's not as poofy. And I'm going to use the same thing same method that I did with the top, where I just kind of create a rope out of the mesh and then just keep wrapping. Sorry, I'm hitting the camera. This wreath is very big. And I wrapped until I couldn't see any of the black underneath. You can see the mesh is already fraying, so I have to go back through and trim all that away when I'm done. And I tried to make it as even as possible so that it looked nice, so it looked like a band going around the wreath. You could probably put ribbon here. You could put like an actual like little buckle if you have a buckle. That would be really cute. And as far as the black mesh, you wouldn't have to spend, I don't think you'd have to spend that much money on the 6-inch mesh if you bought a roll at like Hobby Lobby, the big rolls, especially when they're half off. You would probably save money doing that. I'm not sure, I haven't done the math, but I'm always trying to find ways to use 6-inch mesh because I have a lot of it. Okay, so with the tip, I wanted it to come up and kind of turn, and the way I figured I would do that is to add a pipe cleaner through the tip, and then I'm twisting it up. I'm just trying to make it sturdy so that I have something to attach the little poof I made. And I just did one individual poof with the purple to put on top, and I made it exactly like I made the bottom. After I wrapped that all the way up, I left a little bit hanging, like that's not twirled, and I'm going to feed that back down through the tip, and this just doubles it over. I just wanted it to be really sturdy because I'm going to make the top come up and over. I thought that was cute. And it's attached to the frame, so it's the meshes, so it's not going to like completely unravel. See, it's so cute. It's got like a little curve to it. And then that gives me something to attach the purple to. I can attach it directly to the pipe cleaner. And I know that looks messy right there, but once I get it all attached, I can fix it. And I'm wrapping it around and around because I did not want this to come off. And I wanted to keep it towards the front. I didn't want it to slide around or turn or anything. And then I just pull it up. Okay, so I realized after I made this wreath that I did not have a way to hang it on the door, so I felt around until I found the crossbar. That was I think it's the second one from the top. And I'm just going to put a pipe cleaner through that. I'm going to twist it where I want the loop to end, and then I'm just trimming that away. And then I'll just turn that around so that the pokey part is hidden underneath the mesh. And that's just a quick way to make a hanger for your wreath. And that's it. That's how I made my witch hat wreath. It's so big. And I actually had these 2 feet from last year. I was going to put them on a wreath, and I decided not to. But they would look so cute at the bottom. I didn't put them on this wreath, but I thought if someone wanted to buy it, I could see if they want me to add them. That's how I made my witch hat wreath. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you can email me at craftingwithlee@yahoo.com. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like my video or learned anything, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.